right, Full Metal Rock people, this is Kat, and we are talking with Tim David Kelly from the band Kicking Herald. Tim, you just released an album in January called Red Light District. How is that going for you?
Oh, it's going great. I mean, we just obviously we just started, so we're just kind of in the promotion, time period, and getting ready to, do some more shows to promote it. So kind of where we're at. It's nice to have it done and have it out. It takes a long time to get these things done.
Yeah. So this is your fifth studio album.
Yeah.
Is that right? Full-length
That
album,
is right.
anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you that don't know Kicking Herald or haven't heard of Kicking Herald, their song Gasoline gained notoriety as the theme song for Overhaulin, and I understand that you do a lot of theme songs for TV and things like that, producing, songwriting for other bands. You are quite accomplished.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, I was, in my research, I was, my husband said to me, "Why are you listening to the theme song for Overhaulin?" I'm like, I'm listening to Kicking Herald. He's like, "Oh, okay." It was kind of funny, but he's a gearhead, so.
That's great. Yeah, the Overhaulin people are great. It's been a blessing for the band. Really
I bet.
Yeah.
Full Metal Rock, my editor is a huge fan, followed you from the 90s on, and was very pleased to hear that you guys released a new album.
That's great.
And so the first single is Kill You, and that video is fabulous. I actually saw the video before I talked to Amanda about you guys. And I was like, oh my God, this is a great video. And song. The song is great too. Sticks in my head. I was singing along to it, today when I was watching it. So tell me about the recording of that video.
Well, it was pretty straightforward. We shot one day in like a trailer park area up in North Los Angeles, an area called Saugus. It was a lot of fun. I mean, it looked like everything you saw on the video. It was just, picture that, 10 times over. Just doing it all day long, just running around and being chased by people and doing all these crazy effects that we had to set up in exact positions, and because they did all these vine type effects, they do the smash cuts so it looks like something switching or the water's pouring out of a bottle and goes onto the drummer, but actually he's 50 feet behind. It's just an optical illusion. So
there's a lot of illusions in that.
Yeah, I mean the whole idea behind the video, which was done by Big Machine, it's a company out in Los Angeles, and coincidentally they also did the Overhaulin theme song, the original intro for the graphics for that. That's how we got that. But they did the video, and we kind of wanted to do an older style story video, like that we liked from the 80s and 90s that people aren't doing much anymore, and then also incorporate these very in vogue new kind of vine effects, just to give it a twist that you aren't expecting. So you think it's just a standard rock band runs around chasing a girl, kind of a video, and all of a sudden all these crazy things start happening. So whoa,
it was awesome. It wasn't cheesy or at all. I mean, it was just so well done. Yeah. Well, I mean, I understand what you're saying about wanting to do that type of a video that most people aren't doing anymore. I know that Seether had done one recently. Of course, the song escapes me right now because I can't remember. But they did one, and it was really funny. I mean, I was like, this is cool. It's like one of those old style videos, but not cheesy, just funny.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I love Seether. They're a great band. I mean, the thing is, I know it's not like it's just everyone. I mean, there's all different kinds of videos. People are doing everything now, but I just noticed when I was looking through videos and we were trying to figure out like what type of video we want to do, that a lot of them were very serious. It's like the bands in the desert rocking out with the wind blowing. It's real,
Yeah.
We want to kick ass, and then we were just like, this band's always had a sense of humor, and I prefer like a Foo Fighters type video, where there's jokes going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at the same time, it's still fun.
And I think that your personalities really came out in the video.
Oh,
Just
thank you.
being goofballs is what the impression that I got.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Our bass player Brett Domrose, he grew that Fu Manchu biker mustache for like a week before, and he was running around this thing going, "Oh my God!" Now he grew his beard out, and I can't even remember the day, but he had this mustache, and he was trying to steal it. And then on the day of the shoot, we shot all the footage of him being the hillbilly guy with the cowboy hat, and then as soon as we were done with that, he shaved it off, and then we did the live footage of the band playing normally, so it looked like it was two separate people, but that was really his mustache.
That was funny. That was great.
Yeah,
It was really great.
it was. It was a fun day. Yeah.
Oh, and then Mariah Carey at the end, the cameo, that was pretty cool.
Mary Carey.
Oh, Mary Carey.
Yeah,
well, that would be amazing.
Carey. If it was Mariah Carey, that would be something else, right? Yeah, Mary Carey is just someone that was cast for the video, and she's amazing. She's totally cool, and
she's gorgeous.
Yeah, it was a fun surprise. She had during the process of going through all the people that were available, we had cast Sarah with the bright red hair because we thought that was like perfect for the main role because she's supposed to be kind of a cartoony Supergirl type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we needed the person at the end for the surprise, and then we didn't know if she would want to do it, because she had cast for the full thing, and she's a star, so we were like, I don't know if she's gonna want to do a cameo, but she's so cool and professional. She showed up and just nailed it right away. It was just amazing. Really very sweet, and we were just really happy to have her, and it made that ending just really pop to everyone that knows who Mary is. All her fans were into it. She tweeted about us and had us on her radio show, so it was cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I understand that you're going to be releasing American Nitro next.
Yeah, we're just going into the editing of a video for it. We're gonna do it with kind of cool lyrics video thing that we're putting together, and it's out to radio. And we're gonna see what we can do there. It's the official second single. That's the one we're working right now.
What about Dance to Music?
Dance to the Music is one of my favorites, and it was actually going to be the first single before Kill You kind of just rose to the top for whatever reasons that these things happen. So in a perfect world, I would imagine that's probably going to be the next single. The album's really deep with songs that could be singles, so it's a little hard. So we kind of wanted to see which ones floated to the top that people were gravitating towards, and stations were playing on their own, things like that. So that's why we picked American Nitro, and also because it's kind of like the flip side of the coin of Gasoline. It's kind of a sister song, as you say. It's like the same kind of a vibe, the same kind of arrangement. So we thought it'd be really cool to have something come out because Kill You is one of our favorites, and it's been it's on our first album and it's on this album. So it's kind of older feel. It has like more of an alternative 90s feel. So we wanted to do something that was a little more current to what we're doing now for the second one, a little harder rock. That's what we could do.
Yeah, the whole album is really good. It's excellent. I love it.
Thank you.
So when you, as far as the writing process for this album, did you guys approach it any differently than you normally do, as far as going in and recording and doing the writing, or did you do something different? I mean,
well, first, there's no real normal for Kicking Hero because we've been around for so long. So there's been on the first few albums, it was just a pure band situation where we would go in and work up songs in a rehearsal room as a band, and then go in and record with everybody playing, that kind of thing. And then as time went by and numbers left, and there would be long periods of time between albums because I was doing other things, either producing or doing other bands or whatever. So when I would come to do the next album, I would see who was still around and wanted to do it. And the album before Red Light District, Zombies, Cars, and Evil Guitars, I went in and I had never done this myself, and since I was a producer and I was able to, I said I wanted as an experiment to see if I could do a whole album by myself. And I did that, and I really liked it. And on this album, I had intended to just demo things up myself, and then have players come in and kind of replace parts. But everything came out so perfect the way I wanted it. Not necessarily perfect. Nothing's ever perfect, but it came out the way I wanted it, and I wasn't even really able to replace the things in the same way. So I just decided just to leave it as is. So the album that you're hearing is just me in a studio by myself. I just did everything.
That is really cool.
So it's
you would never know it.
Oh, thank you. Well, I've done it a long time, and I try as a producer to make, when I'm doing things like that, to make it, sound more band-like, and I know how to, manipulate sounds and drums and things to make it work that way. But it wouldn't be possible without modern technology. But and it wasn't something I was ever able to do in the beginning. It just because of my years producing for a solo artist, they would come in and give me an idea and say, here's a song idea, and I'd have to create the whole thing for them. So I did that for years and years and years, just making tracks, for artists. And then I got to the point where I could just, instead of demoing, when I would record something, it would just be done. So I could just decide,
So
but in the future, I'd like to do another Kicking Hell on more full band. I mean, the guys I play with now, Brett Domino, bass. He's also a guitar player and a lead singer. He was in the band Dogstar with Keanu Reeves. So he's got a big thing. He's very talented. And we've got a new drummer named Mike Odabashian, who was in Vander Black. He's with him. He was signed, I think, Interscope to Huge Deal. He's a great drummer. So I would love to record now with those guys. That'd be fun.
So, is it different? I mean, is it difficult for you then to go on tour if you've done all the recording and stuff by yourself, and then going on tour, and now you've got other musicians playing the parts that you did? Is it
difficult? It's not difficult.
Transitionally? No.
No, it's almost the same process I was saying before. It's because what happens is we go into a rehearsal room and these songs have never been played live. So, and our set is a combination. So it's only a few songs from the new album. A lot of the songs are from the older albums, and they're all new to these guys. But for me, I played probably 80% of the set for 20 years. So I know these songs. They get a recording, they learn them, we go and work them up, and it just feels like you're learning new songs that you either if you're doing a cover band or if you're just learning new songs that you work on your own. So we just sit there, and the arrangements always change live. I've never tried to recreate the studio experience live. I think it should be completely different. Like some of the songs that are mellow, or I'll add more guitar to them so they're heavier live, things like that. It's fun. It's as long as you have good players that are cool and are fun to hang out with.
Yeah, that's the most important. As long as you're having fun, right?
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Yeah, I mean, I'd much rather have people that are more friends than just people I don't know that were some amazing player that was an asshole.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And you said that you've been working with other musicians and doing other things. Is there anybody or band or musician or anybody that you would like to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
Well, that's a long list.
All right, well, top five.
I mean,
off
the top of my head, that would be really hard. I mean, as an artist, I'd love to work with the DeLeo brothers at STP. I think those guys are amazing and as players, and I'd love to just sit in a room and see how they do things. I'd have to really dig in. When I get these questions about top five, I have to think about all the different people and artists, and there's all the main names. My biggest guitar hero is Jimmy Page, so it'd be cool to have him sit in on sessions or do something with him would be amazing. So if you have a dream like this, it would go on and on and on.
Well, if you are driving in your car by yourself, what's on your radio?
I generally listen to just good old-fashioned terrestrial radio. I've had Sirius. I've had all my stuff. On digitally you can go through, but even if I have 1,000 songs on my phone or an iPod or whatever, I'll still just flip on the radio and listen like in LA to K-Rock or whatever. It's just kind of. I think I don't know if it's a habit, but it's just very comfortable, and I like the idea of not knowing what's going to come up. And
right, yeah, I totally agree.
And it gets old because they play the same songs over and over again sometimes.
Yeah, no, it gets you. I know. It burns you out on a couple songs.
So yeah, and I really enjoyed Sirius while I had it. I thought that was really cool, and the only reason I don't have it is the radio in my car. The Sirius part of it flew out or something, so I have to replace it to get it back. But Yeah, so I like, I just like to listen to the radio, basically. And, I was messing around with Amazon Prime, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
The musician in me doesn't want to like it, or doesn't want to like Spotify as well because of the way they're treated for royalties.
Right.
But it's a very cool thing. It's fun,
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. So you're. Yeah, I totally
kind
hear
of
you.
sad when someone can pay $12 a month to get unlimited songs.
Yeah, I know.
You're like, wait a minute, what happened?
And as a fan, you have the good fans that, like I always buy my albums. Even if I get a previewed, um, album before it comes out or whatever, I still end up going and buying the album just because I want to support the band.
Yeah,
But
a lot of people do that.
And I would hope that people do, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
I try to not do that and tell others, this is how these guys make their living, and you're kind of like stealing their music.
Yeah, I mean it's a completely different world, and I can see both sides of it. I understand why it's more convenient, it's more fun. I mean, I do the same thing. I go on YouTube and we'll listen to something instead of buying it or whatever. So you kind of go through that. You get that phase where you think that this is easier, so it's cooler. But what I don't like about the new world order in music is that people don't value the music. It's not that it's fine that they can get it for free. If I could get something for free and not pay for it, I would want the free too. But they don't value the fact that like what goes behind that song and how much it costs to make the song, how much that if it continues in a certain path, there'll be no more new music that's any good because people won't want to spend the time and money to make really good music because they can't. There's no back end. There's no way to make a living at it. And if you're big enough and you're lucky enough to be able to tour and sell a ton of merch and become really famous, then yeah, you're fine. But I kind of think about, well, what about the people that can't tour anymore? If they're too old or something happened to them, or if they're dead and their families, they're not
right.
making. So once the sales go away, those people aren't making any money anymore when they should off these copyrights and things. So it's not really a popular view, and I'm not trying to be large or anything crazy, but there's a gray area in there, and I'm cool with whatever's happening. I have stuff on Spotify. I don't get mad at people if they take it for free. It's totally cool. Gasoline's pretty much we didn't we let it go viral just completely on its own, and there's a million videos of it by itself. We don't pull it down, and we're really cool about that. But it just kind of makes me sad that people don't realize that it's like it is a thing that's owned by somebody.
Right. And I noticed
it's not a free thing that floats around like, oh, it's like you can't just go into a place and take a painting off a wall. It's like it's a piece of art that someone made and owns.
Right.
But no one thinks that way because it's the music. It's out there.
Right. And I noticed that there's a trend of a lot of bands turning to companies like GoFundMe or IndieGoGo, fan-funded albums.
Yeah,
basically. I've noticed, like Seven Dust did it. For their Time Travelers and Bonfires, and there's a band called, I don't know if you've heard of them, but Les Projets.
I have not.
It's a project with Morgan Rose from Seven Dust is the drummer on it, and then it's got Kevin Martin from Candlebox and Lenny Sturzosi from the Infinite Staircase. And they also did the IndieGoGo thing because it was a project and they needed they explained to me that they need the money to record the music. It just doesn't come, they're not a huge band. It just doesn't come and drop out of the sky they have to earn this money somehow. And so that's what they did. So, and they're selling autograph things like a drum head or an autograph t-shirt and stuff like that, and fans love that crap.
Yeah, I mean it's a good outlet. I mean it's cool that people figure out a way, and it totally works itself out. And I think things will work itself out on every end. I mean at a certain point, there are some big artist or whatever, like even Taylor Swift when she walked away from Spotify for a second, everyone went whoa, So I mean these, and then those companies that are making all this money will flip around and make the royalties. It's not like everyone wants it to be crazy, but I just think it should be fair in these particular situations. It just doesn't. And I don't know all the details, so I can't just stand here and soapbox and go, "This is wrong." But I feel like there should be something. There should be just a minimum amount that an artist should make. If everyone else is making money, the artist should make money.
Right. I agree with you 100%.
But yeah, the IndieGoGo stuff is cool, and it's great. Like it's cool for fans, and it's a great time to be a music fan. And you can write, someone on Twitter, and they'll talk back to you. I mean, can you imagine in the '70s if you could,
No, I know.
Write a message to Robert Plant, and he'd be like, "Hey, how's it going?" You're like,
I know.
It's
Totally.
really the lines have opened up between people, and I think artists appreciate fans more now because they know how valuable it is. Because if someone supports you and they're really cool, they do. They might get their music for free, but then they're going to buy your T-shirt, they're going to go to your concert, they're going to tell their friends. So it's a very valuable relationship that's important to everybody. So I think that's cool.
Yeah, I do too. But back to Kicking Harold and your new album, The Red Light District. Or Red Light District, right? Red Light District, that's the name.
Red Light District.
Tour. I didn't see any tour dates, but I know the one's coming. When can our Full Metal Rock family expect that?
Well, we're working on it. We are 100% indie, so it's kind of a trek to make that happen. But I mean, right now we're just doing regional stuff. We're going to be in Tucson on the 1st of May. We're going to be in Vegas on the 16th and that kind of thing. And more dates are going to open up as we go along. So we're just kind of taking it as it comes.
So your Midwest fans like me have to wait a little bit.
Yeah, for the moment, yeah. I mean, but the goal is to be able to, go all, do runs across the country and back and just do like what everybody does. It just depends on what comes up and what's available and what we're able to do. We're not on any label at all. It's all 100%, band funded, independent album, independent band. So
that's fair.
just everything has to be thought through. Because we don't just have a guy with a blank check saying go, we'll underwrite it. So we just have to figure it all out. So if you want us to play, contact us.
Hey, I have this party next week, and no.
Yeah, right.
That's funny. Is there any talk about jumping on any of these big summer festivals?
Yeah, we are. We kind of got started late on some of those things. So mostly, I would think that the festival stuff is going to be happening after next year. After the 2016, I guess it would be, which is crazy to think about. But if something comes up, we'll obviously consider it and do it. But I know that the festival's booked way ahead, and we were concentrating on the album. We kind of missed the window for a lot of that stuff. So
yeah, totally understand that. You guys should jump on Shipwrecked.
Yeah, I mean, that would be really fun. Yeah, a friend of mine is doing the Monster Rock cruise, which I thought sounded really fun. Monsters of Rock.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my gosh, I remember the first Monsters of Rock. That was, oh my God, forever ago.
Yeah, it sounds fun to me to go. Like they go off and spend a week on a boat or a few days on a boat, play concerts, and all the bands around there. We talked about fans. That must be just like
I know the list for this year for Shipwrecked was just unbelievable. Like everybody that was going to be there, I'm like, oh my God, they're like all my favorite bands, and Tremonti and Seven Dust was going to be there, and I think POD was on this one, and just all kinds of bands. And I'm like, and their families, just walking around on the beach and playing, and they have games and they play at night and play during the day by the pool or whatever.
Yeah. Well, these are all things that we're eventually going to be working our way into. Kicking Harold's an interesting situation because we've been around for a long time, but there's been a lot of gaps between when we were active. So gearing back up, it takes a long time. So if you have 5 years between an album, all of a sudden you're like, let's do another one. You're starting over each time. So the goal for me, because I kind of keep the flame alive of this band and keep it going, because I want to and I love doing it, is just to this time around not let it peter out and go into other things. I'm just going to continue to work on it until we get back up to where we should be as far as where we're playing and what we're doing. Just things like that. So that's the goal. We'll see what happens. You never know. But
yeah. Do you think that you'll I'm sorry to interrupt. Did you think you'll still be doing some of the producing and writing for other musicians and TV shows and things like that, or you think you're just going to concentrate mostly on Kicking Harold?
Well, that stuff's always an option. Yeah, I mean, it just depends on the schedule. But in the past, we would do an album, and then in between I would do maybe a couple albums for other people, or I would do an album under another name, which could be a Kicking Harold album. But like I did a Bloodshot Gamblers album with the original bass player of Kicking Harold, which is a really cool disc, and I did Zombie Oil with Brett, who's in the band now, Brett Domrose. That album came out 2010, I think. So these are all albums that if you took the name off of it and you put Kicking Harold on it, it's very similar because it's I'm part of it. So like the sound of the voice and the songwriting is going to be in the same ballpark. So if people like Kicking Harold, they like that stuff. So I'm probably not going to do a lot of that anymore. But I you never know what goes on in your head. That's the way artists are. We're like, I'm bored. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So I try my best not to.
Well, is there anything that you'd like to tell your fans or any final thoughts?
Well, no, just I'm just glad that they're still out there, and it's nice. It's nice that I hear from people that will say they'll talk about Ugly and Festering, our first album. You're talking about 20 years ago and how much it meant to them, and it's really nice that you don't realize how much this stuff sticks with people. So, just I want to tell them that I appreciate it, and whenever I do hear from them or someone says a kind word about it, it's kind of like that's what keeps people like me going doing this, because at this point we're 100% indie. It's not like we're raking in tons of money and we're not this huge band, so we do it for the love of it. So any kind of feedback that's positive like that really means a lot. So it keeps you going. That's nice.
Well, from me and all of Full Metal Rock, we wish you and Kicking Harold the best uh, going forward with your careers and your touring and your music writing and making. And we will be there right with you, listening, purchasing T-shirts, albums, whatever we can,
Great.
because we are fans for sure.
Thank you.
Good luck with everything, and it has been a pleasure talking with you today. I look forward to seeing you live.
Thank you. You
All
will.
right.
We'll get out there.
Awesome.